Hey there, Rodrigo here for Textualize, and in this short video I will show you how you can animate a style change using CSS. So right now I have an application that has 4 buttons, and if you press the buttons nothing happens. And what I'll show you now is how to set the CSS on the buttons so that by adding a class to change let's say the background or the opacity of the button, that change is animated. So let's do the following. Let's set some CSS, and obviously this could be in a separate file. I'll just do it here so that you can see everything at once. And let's say that this is what I'll show you now. And then the special class, let's say that there's a changed class where the background becomes red, and the opacity is, let's say, 0. So we will animate both. And now what I want to do is I want to set a rule called transition. Actually, before setting the transition, let's do the following. So when we press a button, we will take that button and we will add the class changed, the CSS class changed. And so if I run my application now, what happens when I press a button is the button just disappears, and I can't even see the background, the red background. But now, if I go to the button CSS and if I add a rule called transition, and then I specify that I want to transition the background over the course of 1000 milliseconds, and I want to transition the opacity, and I want to transition the opacity over the course of 3000 milliseconds, then if I rerun my application, if I press a button, I see that the background changes, and 3 seconds later, the button disappears, or 2 seconds after the background becomes red. Also, I'm not sure, let me check. I'm not sure if I can specify seconds. I hope I can. I don't think I can. Seconds. Maybe you have to do it in... Oh, you can. Perfect. So you can set the duration in seconds as well. So the transition CSS rule is how you change. This is how you set the CSS so that style changes are animated. And one thing you must note is that this will only animate style changes that happen purely because of CSS. So if I were to do something like styles.background equals red, or maybe the opacity, because it's supposed to take longer, so it's easier to see. So if I set the opacity here, if I set it programmatically, if I rerun my application, you can see that it automatically becomes, not automatically, it becomes transparent instantaneously. So this transition rule will only work for changes that happen purely because of CSS and classes that are applied. So let me reinstate the class here, and that's it. So this is how you use CSS to animate style changes. I will leave some documentation links below, and feel free to ask questions and or join our Discord server to ask questions and to hang out with us. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.